simply because of his compromise. And hear me, when we reach this place where our spiritual lives, when we reach this place, then our spiritual life is in serious trouble. When we adopt the idea that God is unable to do what he has promised, when we lose faith in him and his word, that is sure signs that we are out of God's will and need to repent and to seek his face. We look at his past fruit. Verse 13, he says that in this verse, he takes a position that he done some good things, done a good job. As he struggled. After all, why would God or the prophet risk losing such a man? I am the man that hired 100 of you guys. I've been put in this position to protect you guys. Doesn't God think that Obadiah has done enough already? Obadiah seems to be living in the past world. Maybe he feels that being right with God and serving God in the past is enough to make up for being this backslidden today. And so many believe that. And hear me, church. Hear me carefully this morning. Hear me carefully. When you come to the place in your spiritual life where you have to point back at what you used to do instead of being able to see what you are currently doing, you are in deep spiritual trouble. Sadly, many believers are in that place right now, this moment. You hear them things like, I worked in Bible school for years. Now it's time for someone else to do it. Or I taught a class for a long time, I need a break. Or I used to go to church, I used to serve God, I used to be faithful. What about today? What are you doing for God this morning? What are you doing to God today? Don't fall into the trap that claims Obadiah. Serving God in the here and now, not the then and when. We must come to the place where we serve our God in the here and now, and not in the then and when. Paul fears is that he will become a castaway. I've run, but I've quit somewhere in the middle. Some of you have, and you don't care. Look at Obadiah's indulgence of Elijah, the man of God, verse 15 and 16. And Elijah's insistence, Obadiah reluctantly agrees to go find Ahab and tell him the news. As Obadiah walks away, he's never heard of again. Did Ahab kill him as he feared? Probably not. Most likely, he simply fade back into the woodwork and continue to live his life of compromise and disobedience. His is a life that has been greatly used of the Lord, but because of his reluctance, he lacked, and that his lack of faith and his compromise with the world, he was a man who never amounted to much for the glory of God. Think about this. Later on in this chapter, we're going to see later, Elijah's alone confronting Ahab on the mount, and the prophets of Baal among Carmel. If Obadiah had been all he claimed to be, he would have been right there with the man of God. Right there with the man of God. This final observation. This final observation from the life of Obadiah. Friends, you better watch those people. You better watch those people who tell you that they love the Lord, if they'll tell you, it is usually because they cannot show you it. Watch those people who come around telling you, I love the Lord. Because if they're telling you it, it's a problem, they cannot show you it. Usually those who boast the loudest about their love for God, His church, His work, are those who do the least. You know what I'm talking about. People who say they love their church, but hardly come to church. Watch them. If they love the church, they won't tell you. You will see them in attendance. If they love the Lord, they won't have to tell you. They'll show you it by the life they live. I wonder if I'm talking. I'm wondering this morning. I'm wondering today if your walk matches your talk. Are you a hireling? Or are you a servant of God? Do you talk a good game? Or are you really living out what you claim to be with your lips? If you're really honest, would you have to say would you be able to say, I'm more like Elijah, who did the will of God obediently, or that you're more like Obadiah, who made excuses and live a life of compromise? Who describes you best? Elijah or Obadiah? If you need work in your relationship with God, I invite you to come before God and get it right. Get it fixed. While dealing with your heart, hear Him, listen to Him. Maybe salvation, service, or total surrender. The place to get it right is to get it right here and now. Our Father and our God, we thank you for your love, we thank you for your grace. Lord, we thank you for your goodness towards us. We thank you for the privilege to share your word. May it speak to our heart, may it speak to our heart in accordance with your will. Lord, for those of us that are walking afar off, and we have just given lip service instead of heart service. Our walk does not match our talk. Help us, Lord, to make things right today, Lord. For those that, on the side of my voice, that have never yet trusted you as Lord and Savior, we pray, dear God, for their salvation through the word of God. They come to know you in a personal way. Have you been in your way in our lives even now? In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.